Live. Wait a minute. Live. Go live. There you go. Ugh.
See no filter on Instagram today?
So pretty. Oh. What?
You don't have to.
No.
Jackson, you and that fucking ball, bro.
We'll be sketches today.
That's gonna be awful.
That's no, it'd be awful. I wouldn't do that. Wouldn't do that to y'all. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Good morning. I like this. It makes it feel like we're time traveling.
I mean, we are flying through the universe.
We are time traveling because time goes by so fast. Come on now. Delicious.
Smells. You know what episode this is?
47?
Is that right? I mean, sure.
Yes.
I get it wrong more often than not, but
This is I'll check, but my method of checking is right here. Right there. Good morning, good morning, good morning. God damn it. There you go. Always mess that up. Way back, there we go. Dude is jamming out there.
he is.
Oh man.
Okay.
That'll be on.
All right.
That's all, folks. You know what was surprisingly good?
What?
Aquaman.
You're full of shit. I'm not
Yeah.
taking movie suggestions from you anymore.
Yeah, that one was good. It wasn't dark like all the other ones. There was actually color.
Let's say, is it?
You didn't have to squint to see the movie. Trying to figure out what was going on in all the darkness. It was good.
So much uses.
You just twist it and then turn it.
Okay, so great. Now I'm there.
That's access. I would smash that.
Oh,
Yeah, pretty much.
Just falls out. Okay.
Is it. And the puck remains if you use 40 pounds of pressure. That is.
God damn it. Whatever's happening just needs to stop.
There's a box.
Okay.
Go dump this out. Whoop. Yeah, no, it was good. I still haven't seen Justice League, and I won't watch that one. I've seen clips of that movie. That's a bad movie. I don't know how that went to theaters.
I've seen that one.
You watched that one?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Feel sorry for you then.
It was on something. I think I ended up renting it because it's a good idea. It's a good idea. Like, it makes.
Justice League?
It should have worked.
Should have, but it didn't.
And I hadn't, but I didn't know, I wasn't up to date with all the shenanigans. So I didn't know about the mustache.
Who was the
Superman had a mustache.
in the movie?
He was, okay, we'll talk about it. Yeah. They CGI'd it off his face.
Oh, okay. Oh. Here for another roll?
Yep, Mission Impossible.
Okay.
All right.
You're a good boy. You're a good boy. I know. You're a good boy. I know you're a good boy. Can they see you? Is that your face? Did they see your face right there? Good boy. Let's get this right. Done there. All right. All right.
We'll go and get started as we settle in. A little bit of a late start, but
Oh my, a little bit.
just a wee bit,
I don't know what that was. I'm sorry.
Good morning, Joel.
Good morning, Ben.
Happy Friday to you and everybody out there. I feel like this has been a very unsettled morning. How was your morning?
Weird, because I'm used to being up here by 5:45. But since Kim and I switched, I didn't have to be here until 7. So it was just weird. It's always weird. Like,
Yeah.
any change in the schedule always just throws me off a little. It throws anyone off, really.
Throwing off routine, absolutely. So for those listening, not watching, Joel is doing it the pour-over again. If you did not hear or listen last week or see the video, I did post a video on YouTube of the pour-over segment where he took us through step by step his morning ritual, which is pretty detailed. And we actually got some feedback on that. I think it was Zach that said that he had only listened, he did not watch. And he said that you were very descriptive, that he could see in his mind exactly what steps you were taking, and he felt he really understood the process. So
I felt like I rushed that.
Great job. We're also going to go. We're going to post a blog about it, so I'm going to have Joel write it out so that if you want to try this at home, we are we're using 1885 coffee.
1885, of course.
1885 coffee.
Honduras beans.
Those Honduran beans. There we go. Speaking of 1885, on April 6th, was not this Saturday, but next Saturday, we have our first Saturday event in a while. So we haven't done a first Saturday, I think, since November, maybe even October.
It's been quite some time.
It's been quite some time. Haven't had the team. Now we have the team. And so Miranda, Joel, and I will be here next weekend welcoming all of your family and friends in for free workouts at 8 a.m. and 9 a.m. And we would love you to be here. And I bring that up with 1885 because 1885, Jose and Molly will be here with some coffee. And so swing by here for the workout, stay for the coffee, stay for the conversation. It's going to be great. I think that's going to be an awesome time, and we're grateful that they'll be back. By then, I do believe we'll be restocked on the cold brew, and so you'll be able to pick up.
Shelby's been buying all those things.
Yeah, Shelby loves it. I love it. It's great. I've actually had to ration the last can, so I've been doing like quarters of it. So Molly, we need more.
But more to concentrate.
I'm getting in a bad spot. Don't know what to do.
And the MCT stuff.
So we, so this is the cold brew.
It's a little,
how long do you think that just took you?
A little bit stronger than the other. Without all the walking around, setting things up, 5 minutes.
Okay, so about a 5-minute process for pretty damn good cup of Joe here.
No scale, so it's a little bit stronger.
I mean, put the espresso in. It is good though. I like that.
It's not as a.
Feels like it's still cooling off. I'd say that's the other thing. It's not as cold as it was last time. So I think that ice needs to do a little bit more work.
But it tastes fantastic. That espresso shot in it.
Does taste very, very good. So
that's the Black Wolf special right there.
There we go. That's what we finally have our own. Finally have our own Black Wolf special.
Black Wolf special.
So today is Friday. It's the end of March. March has come and gone. It's flown by. Last Friday, we were speaking to y'all before the last workout of the Open, which is 19.5. We had a fabulous evening that night. It was a long night, but if you want to catch up on how that went and how the 5 weeks went overall, go over to our YouTube channel. We posted 3 videos. So we're not a verified account because we only have a whopping 42 subscribers. So that'd be great if we got a few more. So until you're verified, you can't post longer than 15. Now, do you need to post longer than 15? Probably not. But in the review show, it was about an hour of content. I was able to edit down to about 34 minutes. And so it's three videos. It's 15, 15, and like 4. And the last video is really just the gratitude video. We talk about who we're grateful for, who helped us run such great events. But if you want to check out the review show, the wrap-up show, I put some pictures in there. It's not just us talking. I tried to splice some stuff in, and so I think it came out pretty good. And so go check that out. That's where we won't discuss 19.5 here. We kind of beat it to death in the wrap-up show with Miranda. So if you want to hear about how that Friday went, go over there. It was awesome. We also announced the winners of the team. We can say that. Congratulations to Team Joel. Great job, Team Miranda, I think, by about 100 points.
Great job, Team Miranda, as well.
It's really only 20 points a week, so really a close match.
Very
close match, which is fantastic.
Fantastic open performances.
We had a good time. As we know, I'm grateful it's over, but I'm also grateful for the events because the positive energy in this place, man. It was for as exhausting as it was, worrying about it, putting it on, and running it. Yeah, I bounced back like. Monday wasn't as tough as Mondays in the past have been with the Open. Last year, I didn't rest all weekend because then you had to come up here Sunday.
Yeah.
I think the athletes helped us a ton.
I think last year all we had was the little girl, little small one.
Yeah.
Right here with that bay door open.
Yeah.
Was that last year?
Yeah, that was last year. It was an all around better experience, I think, for the athletes and for the coaching staff. And so
sure.
I'm extremely grateful for everybody that participated. Grateful again, Joel Balderas, for putting that food out there. I think that made the events. And then the engagement with Lulu's theme nights and then all the help Maddie Garcia offered and then having Joel, Robert, and Miranda throw down and help out counting. I think all of it made for an incredible time. So I'd encourage you to go check out those wrap-up videos. Let us know what you think in the comments. And then subscribe to that channel. See if we can get a few more out there. No, I don't want to post 30-minute videos. Nobody needs to watch 30-minute videos of anybody. So, but we would like to grow our YouTube presence and get some practice. Come on, you want to. Come on.
Do it.
And Jax is on the couch. Now we can start the show.
People were like, what do we do now?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's funny when.
I think for some, that was like a Friday night thing.
It was. But you and I have already talked about this. People overestimate their desire to be home on Fridays. Remember when we did the Friday night barbecue? Really good idea at first. And then by the second month, fewer people. And then by the 4th month, nobody. Because it turns out if there's not a real reason to be at the gym, you might not want to be at the gym. Sure. Not at 9 o'clock at night. And so I think that what we'll look to do in the future, I'm working with Miranda and Lulu. Will be news to Lulu, but we're going to do a wine and wad for the women, like a ladies' night.
Yeah, Lulu talked about that.
We got some really charismatic, strong women in leadership positions here, and so we want to take advantage of that. And then, obviously, what about the guys' night? We'll figure if you guys really want a guys' night.
It's called Saturday.
Yeah,
Saturdays are for the boys.
Okay, so we can do that.
Actually, I had a guys' night yesterday. Hung out with my buddies from high school. It's a good time. Make time for friends, folks.
What'd y'all do?
We just went to Cedar Creek and hung out.
It's nice.
Yeah, we actually planned to do it last Thursday, but I forgot why. Oh, last Thursday I was like, I can't do it because I'm coaching. So this Thursday we all happen to be lined up to hang out at Cedar Creek. The idea was Pluckers first, but anyone who has been to Pluckers knows that place is a shit show, especially on opening day. It's just packed. It's wait an hour to sit down. So Cedar Creek.
What do you mean opening day?
Yesterday was opening day for Astros. Well, not opening.
For Astros.
For Astros.
Let's go and throw that in there.
Yeah,
so baseball opening day.
Astros won.
Astros on the way to another World Series.
That'd be great.
Bregman's going to be the MVP this year.
He's that dude, man. That man child.
That's it right there.
But yeah. So just
when I first saw him, 3 years ago when he first I think the World Series year was the first year he really emerged. At least for the passive consumer like me that's not watching baseball,
Mm-hmm.
I wanted him to be a douchebag. I was like, oh, what a third baseman, pretty white boy, young guy. What a douchebag. Nope. Awesome guy.
Nice guy.
Awesome guy. Turns out awesome guy.
What a nice guy.
Don't judge those baseball boys. I mean, no, do judge them, but sometimes they're all right. You know, that's okay. Alex Bregman, MVP season coming up, and take out Mike Trout, who just signed a giant contract.
Angels? With the Angels?
Yeah, with the Angels. Yeah, Bryce Harper's the one that moved, right? Bryce Harper went from Nationals to the Phillies.
Oh, and he's got that fat contract as well?
Yeah, I think he signed a big one, although he's going to be a big letdown. Sorry, Bryce. And then
is Trout's a bigger contract?
Yeah, Trout's I think the biggest. I think everybody's talking.
Everyone was getting wild about it.
$350 million. I forget what it was, but it's big time. And you know, it's fascinating. Like, why is Mike Trout not more popular?
I don't know. Like every time he's in an interview, like they're always talking about like he's just a cool guy, and all the commentators always talking about how he's just a force on the field. Like when he runs to first, he's grunting. Like he's still in bases, he's grunting. Like you hear this massive man just coming at you.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Is like, well, baseball is a fascinating thing. Some of the other day I was listening, they were like, baseball's no longer America's pastime. Basketball is now America's pastime. And it makes sense that it would evolve. Like things have to change.
Yeah.
Like as the people that were alive in the 1900s die, then we don't hang on to what they liked.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what they liked. They liked baseball back then.
Mm-hmm.
But like now, I think the NBA brings people together more than baseball does. I think even more, and especially NFL now with CTE and all the issues there. You can still be an NFL fan. You all know my feelings on it. I think it's silly. But you can still be an NFL fan. That's fine.
Shout out to Gronk retiring. Just want to move on this part.
But there's not the fandom around the NFL anymore either. Basketball has really come into its own. And so we're talking about that. But like Mike Trout's fascinating because as a passive observer, it's easy to miss. I'm sorry. He's one of the greatest baseball players to ever play.
He's definitely in that conversation.
And we don't care.
I don't know what it is.
You don't care. You know? And there's a few things. And I mean, this is more than probably people want, so we won't spend a lot of time here. But like, there's a couple things. He's West Coast, so games are late, so you don't see it. Not that you're watching other games. The other thing is baseball is very regional.
Okay, yeah.
You watch Astros.
Yeah.
But like, are you going to watch a Dodgers game? Like Dodgers Giants? No, you're not interested.
No.
And so
a long sport. You really can't make time to watch
162 games, like 4-hour, 5-hour games. Like there's so many factors that play in. Like, no, I'm not going to tune in. And then Trout in his greatness, in baseball, greatness is not on display often.
Yeah.
It's like his first at bat is at minute 7, his second at bat's at hour and a half, his third at bat's at 3 hours. And you're like, okay. And in the field, the ball does not always go to him. Mm-hmm. Now, when it does, that's great. But like, okay, one hit every inning, maybe, probably not. One hit every 3 innings.
I mean, when we're going for socials, like we're there socializing more than we are watching the game.
And that's the beauty.
You hear that smack. Oh, what happened?
And I think that's why baseball is so good at being regional, because you go for your team because you're going to be you're a passive observer. Like unless you're the guy with the scorecard, which I haven't seen one of those in a long time. But back in the day, there would be men and women sitting in the stands with like a scorecard, actually marking stuff down.
That's the real fan. We're writing down.
So you're going to the ballpark to hang out with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your friends, your crew, like to kind of shoot the shit, drink a beer, have some food, and then if something great happens, something great happens. Yeah. Like baseball's one of the sports where if you leave in the 8th inning, it's not that big of a deal. Like it's like, okay, cool, game, whatever. Because if your team loses, they have 161 more games to make it up. And so it's interesting why Mike Trout doesn't get more shine. Mm-hmm. Then you have someone like Bryce Harper who gets more shine, but he doesn't perform as well. He's kind of all show, not all show. He's a very talented athlete, but he's a lot more show and a lot less go.
Where did he come from?
What was his story? Didn't he have a crazy story?
That could be it.
Came out of high school, maybe? He was supposed to be the wonder child.
No.
I think he was predicted to be the wonder child. And he has had a decent career, but he has not had the career. And it's mainly because his team's never done anything. The Nationals haven't really been able to lift themselves out of mediocrity. And so let's get off baseball because I can almost guarantee nobody cares.
Be surprised.
I'd be
surprised. I think people like hear about it than they do watching it.
That's true.
We're talking. When you hear about it, you're talking about the stuff that everyone wants to.
Did y'all watch the game or did y'all just?
No. By the time we got there, it was already over. They had already the game. We made up around 7. Yeah, 7 p.m. Lots of laughs, good times.
Awesome. Well, this week we were fortunate enough.
Good.
Unfortunate that Kim got called away for work. She had to fly out to what's not Odessa? What's the other one? Midland. She had to fly to Midland. She's HR for a company, and so she had to go cut ties with some people, some employees, bit the dust, and she doesn't enjoy that. So she had not a great trip. So we're sorry that she had to deal with that. But she's back now. But because she was gone in her absence, we were fortunate enough to get to work with the freestyle athletes Monday through Wednesday. And it's really, man, that crew's growing in the evening. Macy has joined us. Taylor's joined us. A lot of those guys have made the decision to stay. And so I think that program has a great future. And I enjoyed my time with them on Monday. They're a bunch of hard workers. I think that
you have to talk to them, honestly.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Because if you don't talk to them, they're not going to talk to you. So
no.
I talked to Mark, and he's a cool dude.
He's a great guy.
He's a cool guy. Like, at first, he comes off as, like,
standoffish and maybe too cool for you. But as soon as, he's a great guy.
As soon as you talk, you ask him a question, he'll answer it. Like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
You have a good energy about you when you speak.
Yeah, I like that. I think that hits the nail on the head because, they're coming from – it's difficult for everybody involved when a group comes from another gym.
Yeah.
Because that can always – are they going to bring the habits that those gyms instilled in them?
That or like that gym camaraderie.
Or are you not going to be able to associate with anybody else? Are you not going to be able to associate with anybody else because you're going to stay with your crew?
Yeah.
And I've been really happy with how they've been open to other people, and other people, of course, have accepted them. And I think that's I think Kim's going to have a great thing going on over there. We had more than just Brandy this week hop in over there. I think Jessica Sevilla hopped in on Wednesday. Brandy got Lulu to hop in on Monday. Lulu regretted it about 10 minutes into the workout. So if y'all haven't had a chance to jump into these freestyle workouts, they're pretty fantastic. They work well as supplements to what you're already doing, but also they work well on their own. Like, they're going to get you.
Yeah.
You can go lighter. You can modify the movements to where it's a good recovery. But, like, if you do it as prescribed, it's a great standalone workout. It should not be relegated to it's a backup workout or it's a 2-a-day. So it kind of fits almost whatever need you have. You can tailor that to fit what you're looking for. And so, but Kim came back, and Kim was able to slide in this morning.
Which is why I was here late.
And
not late, but
run the crew at 6 a.m.
Weird.
Your routine was thrown off.
Who'd she have? How'd she do?
She had a big group. Chris and Tori. Yeah, Chris and Tori showed up.
Those two, Chris and Tori, get in here more.
Please get in here more. So they showed up, and if they show up, it's going to be a great day. Tiffany was gone, as we know. Veronica was here.
Okay. Did Tiff come yesterday?
Tiff came yesterday. Tiff and Veronica came yesterday, and they had a great time in the 6 a.m. It also added to the energy. I think the Thursday edition of Freestyle Athletes is going to benefit everybody.
Yeah.
Because
both parties.
They
freestyle and black CrossFit.
Thursdays we know tend to be smaller. And I mean, yesterday it wasn't. Yesterday I think I had 2 heats on the bike.
There you go.
I had 9 at 5 and I had 8 at 6. And that's normally 4 to 5 athletes at 5 and 2 to 3 athletes at 6. Because Thursdays, for those that are maybe listening and don't know, we encourage our athletes to follow almost like a weightlifting program split, where it's like train hard Monday through Wednesday, take Thursday off, train hard Friday, Saturday, take Sunday off. And so Thursdays are pretty much known to be your day off or your active recovery day. And we still write programs that if you skipped a workout, you can get a version of like a hard workout in on Thursday, like you can escalate things, but it really is written as an active recovery day. I pretty much program Monday through Wednesday, Friday. And then Thursday's kind of filled in based on how people are feeling that week. And then Saturday is whatever the Saturday coach wants to do to reward. I've always seen Saturday as the reward for your hard work, meaning let's have a little bit more fun. It's not necessarily, it might be a grinder, but it's going to be a grinder that has like enjoyable movements, things that are a little sexier, maybe a little bit more fun.
Some 800s, you know?
Well, if it's Joel, you're probably every other Joel Saturday is going to have an 800 in it, which means tomorrow,
don't pay attention.
I think you're due for an 800.
You might be due for 800, folks.
I think you're due for an 800 tomorrow. Although I think we might have rain tomorrow, so maybe not.
But
Joel doesn't know what to do on the second workout if there's rain. He's like, all right, 100 burpees.
I was just going to say that. Damn it. That's funny. Damn it.
Knew it. Knew it. Yeah, so I think the freestyle edition on Thursdays and then Sundays as well. Freestyle athletes are invited to our 10:30 class. It's a part of their membership. Right now, the membership's only $85. So if you want a part of this 45-minute class program, we've got classes now Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, a class on Friday, and a class on Sunday. So the program is growing. Right now, I think we've added 8 new people in the last few weeks. And so it's great, man. It's going really, really well, and I'm really happy with how it's going. I'm proud of Kim. I'm going to be interviewing Kim Saturday, so y'all will learn more about her via the podcast Saturday. And so that will be fun.
Yeah, when you got a real HR story going to cut to, I was like, man, why does that sound so familiar? Christopher Robin.
There you go. Is that the segue? Did you watch it?
I did. That is the segue.
So did you have any Winnie the Pooh in your life before?
Yeah.
Okay. Like as a child, like what?
I mean, every now and
Hey,
then,
bro.
every now and then I'd be like, I have a rumbly in my tumbly. Like at the home, it's like, no, I got a rumbly in my tumbly. And I'm by myself, by the way, so I'm a little crazy sometimes. Like, oh, I got a rumbly in my tumbly. I'm like, oh, Winnie the Pooh reference.
There you go. Yeah. So as we mentioned, because we mentioned it last week, right? Christopher Robin.
We mentioned on the update show.
Okay. Oh, on the update show. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I didn't
Netflix.
dive into it because that would have been a
Netflix has that new Christopher Robin movie with Ewan McGregor playing the role of Christopher Robin, and then the what kind of animation do you call that when it's like realistic stuffed animals that are animated?
That's, I mean, it's pretty much CGI. That's
CGI.
I mean, imagine that whole movie. He's just talking to the floor.
That's true.
Like, hey, look at that target.
He might be holding a stuffed animal
yeah.
with like a green face.
Yeah.
He might be holding a stuffed animal with like a green face.
They probably have it like on a swivel.
Yeah.
When he does. Animatronics is cool.
That would be interesting. Yeah. When actors act with things that don't exist.
I think that's so cool.
Well, yeah, but you think comic book movies are cool.
So I still haven't watched Justice League or Wonder Woman.
A bunch of dudes
I need to watch
just
that
hanging out in green screens.
Well, no, I think about that too.
Whoa, look at that explosion! Whoa! Ah!
No, I do
Spaceship.
I think about that too. Like, man, almost 100% of this movie is fake.
Right.
But they make it seem so like believable.
They don't. Stop that.
They do. No, they do.
Stop it.
No, they really do.
Stop
It's good because you need that. Because if you're stuck in reality all the time, you're like, oh, life sucks. You need an escape sometimes. If your reality sucks, that is.
Okay, that's fine.
It's
No, man, I do. Look. My dad loves the Marvel movies. My dad still doesn't know why I haven't seen Infinity War. Like, my dad loves the Marvel movies.
That's a long one though.
When I go, well, did you see how long Endgame is?
It's gonna be longer.
3 hours and 5 minutes.
Woo-wee! I'm gonna be at the most 3 hours and 5 minutes.
I could drive to San Antonio.
Oh shit.
Like, I'm gonna just for fun. I got nothing to do with San Antonio. When you go see it, I'm gonna drive to San Antonio. Let me know when you get done.
Yeah.
I bet I get to San Antonio
It's actually about to start, man.
before you're done.
Probably. Shit.
3 hours and 5 minutes. You know how many times I have to pee in 3 hours and 5 minutes?
I'm not gonna drink any water.
Like, so I wonder, real question though. So, little known fact, I bet you don't know this. So, haunted, bro. Do you think, is this, what is it?
I saw that.
What is it? What's the movie? Paranormal?
Paranormal.
Yeah. Can we get the ghost hunters in here?
But man, this building makes noises.
We're going to use that video as evidence, and now we can make a YouTube channel about ghosts.
You saw it live, folks. That hula just moved.
And then we'll put a reflection in the window that you saw the ghost. All right, you saw it. That was the evidence right there.
Jim Rat Mickey. If you think about it, he's got that. He doesn't have no color. He could be a ghost.
Hey, so real quick, did you notice the wolf in the bottom left?
I'm not gonna lie, no.
I didn't either.
Damn it. What's Luis? It's good. No, Luis's mama.
Jeff.
Jeff. His name is Jeff, I believe.
It's probably Hefe. It's probably a boss.
Damn it, Hefe Garcia.
I mean, I noticed it 2 days ago.
Such
I walked
creativity.
in and I was just staring. I was like, "There's a freaking wolf in the bottom left of that picture."
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't notice that.
Maddie, your dad is awesome. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
And we miss you.
And we miss you. So, The Sound of Music. Okay, are you aware of the movie? Yeah. So, The Sound of Music was a super long movie. So when I was at the lake house, I think I've mentioned this. When my dad's broke family managed to build a lake house by hand way back in the 1950s.
That's cool.
It's really cool. And then we were
the lake house that you go to?
Yeah, we're fortunate enough to hang on to it, and so we still have it. And so as a kid going there,
I can't even fathom building a tiny home.
Like, it's amazing. It's a real house. It's got plumbing and everything. People were so much more capable back then. Like if you put us in the backyard and we were like, we got to build something. Yeah, there's no YouTube.
Yeah. You got Legos?
Yeah, we're
just building a Lego castle.
So when we go out, so there was no cable, there was no internet. Internet didn't exist when I was a kid, but even now there's no internet out there, and so there's no phone, no nothing. So when you went out there for nature, you went out there for the water, and you went out there. So at night when it got dark, you went out there to be with family.
Yeah.
And so what we would do is we'd watch
the stars.
We'd watch movies at night. And we would rotate between musicals and old war films. And I don't know why that's what we rotated between. But if there's an old black and white war film, I've seen it. A Bridge Over the River Kwai, A Bridge Too Far, The Longest Day, which was the longest, most boring movie. Thanks, Dad.
What about Old Yeller?
And then no, that's not a war or
I
musical.
know, but it seems like one of the movies.
But we watched The Sound of Music, and The Sound of Music was 2 video cassettes. It was so long, it was 2 video cassettes. So, but what they did was, and I asked my parents, they did this in the theater when it was out. There was an intermission. I wonder if Endgame has an intermission. You can't expect me to not get up and pee.
I don't know, they might not.
That's ludicrous.
I feel like they probably won't. It's like, hey, you're here for,
But
you gotta watch,
then
soak it all in.
Then make it 3 hours and 15 minutes and give a 10-minute intermission.
I don't see that happening. I feel like that's such an old school
So
thing.
you want me to sit there for 3 hours and 5 minutes?
I think what's happened is they've been training for it. Like each Avengers movie has been like quite a long movie. They've gotten longer and longer and longer. And Winter Soldier was the longest one until the one that just came out.
You know, there's in artistry, in art forms of any type, there's this thing. I forget who it was. It was Musk. It wasn't Musk. Not Jobs. Well, it wasn't Disney. Hemingway. I don't know. Someone, one of the ones, or maybe it was a more current person. But like they were a writer, or they are a writer, and they had this mentor, and they worked on this paper. I think it was a professor. And they turned it in, and it was the best paper in the class, but he still gave him a B or a C or something. And he goes, it was 10 pages too long. Make it shorter.
Yeah.
But he had written the same amount as everybody else.
Yeah.
It was that the professor knew he or she was a better author.
Yeah.
So he or she should be able to get it into less.
Yeah.
Like less.
Prove your point.
It takes more skill to do it with less than more.
Yeah.
And to me, it seems like they're really dumbing these movies down by being like, we're just going to give you more and more and more and more. And so, where's the line?
I don't know.
Because let's take my bias against. I admit there's so much entertainment value, and there really is great storytelling.
Yeah.
I mean, the narratives that they're putting in these movies are whether they're taking it from the comic books or kind of using the comic books as a loose outline. There's so much creative process, and to entertain comic book fans, to not get just cursed out by what you put out there, that takes great artistic potential. Like you have to be good at this.
It's still getting cursed out of the way.
Well, absolutely. There's always gonna be a hater, but to not have like a revolt, like everybody up in arms about it, that takes a lot of talent. So you have to give credit where credit's due there. But isn't there a line or like?
I think people take pride in knowing that they're gonna go watch something extreme like that. Dude, it's gonna be 3 hours. You ready for this? Like they make it an event out of it. Like, hey, let's get a whole group and let's go watch this.
Okay. So people like Murph, right?
Yes.
Okay. Murph's an hour long, right? I mean, fasties are doing it under 40, but like average, most people that are excited about people that like you don't want to do Murph right now.
No.
But you can do Murph in 35 minutes. But you don't want to do Murph right now.
No.
Right? Okay. Who wants to do Murph when they do it in 50 minutes? Everybody does a 50-minute Murph. It's like, I love Murph. Let's do Murph.
Yeah.
Let's do more Murph. We should do Murph let's do Murph-like workouts. Okay? Do we think that hour-long workouts are great? We think that they are occasionally.
Yes.
But if you always did hour-long, you would break yourself down. You would not get better. You would not progress. And we also know, as a coach who programs, there is more skill. How do I get you to die in 3 minutes?
Yeah.
It ain't hard for me to kill you in an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can just make you trudge.
Yeah.
All right, take a 45-pound plate, carry it for an hour. You'll die.
Yeah.
There's no skill in that.
Every time you put it down, you gotta do push-ups.
But if I find a way to kill you in 3 to 5 minutes, that's a lot of skill.
Yeah.
Okay? So, like, at what point does the consumer go, hey, director, great. You gave me 3 hours of a bunch of content.
Yeah.
Curate that.
Well, I mean, that's where all the other separate hero movies come in. They're not that long. Like Captain Marvel just came out. It's not a long movie.
Did you see that?
I did. I wasn't too entertained with it.
I haven't heard much about it. Is it because it's 10?
I don't think it did that great. But I think she's gonna be Captain Marvel's gonna be great with the Avengers. It probably wasn't. They just didn't do a good job.
Isn't she the cheat code? Isn't she how everybody comes back?
In the movies, yes, but in the comics, she's not.
It's kind of cheap, man.
Well, yeah, but
Then don't kill him in the first place. Like,
yeah,
I'm just
she
not
has the
not
power
com-
of the Tesseract. Like,
not
that's
comic movies in general. Like just in anything, like any TV shows, freaking Game of Thrones. If he's dead, he's dead. Quit doing this like he's dead, but he's not dead. Or like we killed him a season ago, but he came back.
That's
To me, what that tells me is you screwed up.
yeah. Well, I mean, they did wrote the book.
You went for the cheap thrill. No, he wrote it as they
Yeah,
produced it.
he was still trying to finish it as they were going through.
So like you wrote it for the impact in the moment, not thinking about, oh, what do we do without Jon Snow? Like, what do we do without Jon Snow? Was that his name? I don't watch it. I'm sorry if I'm for those who can be offended. Don't care.
So good.
If you kill somebody, they should be gone.
Yeah.
Isn't that the cheapest way? Like you and I could write a movie where we get to kill someone in the first act. Like, oh, by the way, by the grace of God, he was resurrected and he's back.
Yeah.
Easy way to write a story.
It's pretty much how it goes.
But so like, because the big thing on Infinity War was that they had the guts to kill people.
Yeah.
Right? That was when you left it, you were like, that guy died?
Mm-hmm.
Well, doesn't it take a little shine off of it if you know Spider-Man's coming back?
Yeah.
Doesn't the I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark, not have as much of an impact?
Well, right now they're all teasing that they're not going to be brought back.
Of course. Okay, fine. Then after you watch 3 hours of your movie, you better tell me whether they came back or not. And as soon as they came back, it's bullshit.
I'll let you know. That'd be great. But they have to rewrite for the cinematic universe. Like in the comic, which is called the Infinity Gauntlet, he destroys half of everything as well with a snap. And everything's gone. Half of everything's gone. Half the universe is dead.
I feel like in Thanos, without knowing, I feel like they created a supervillain that should just be able to kill everything.
Well, there are people that there are heroes in there that they probably won't bring into the cinematics because they're too powerful. Like Richard Reeves is the son of Fantastic Four, Stretchy Man, and Invisible Girl.
Okay.
Their son, one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Okay.
Super powerful. There's Hyperion, which is basically Marvel's Superman. Way too.
Did you read all this as a kid, or is this something you picked up as you?
Something I picked up as I went. Like, got more interested in, like, oh, this world's pretty cool. Like, I mean, Stan Lee, like, he crushed it. Like, he did his thing because, like, he wasn't that great in school. Like, while everyone else, he was always daydreaming.
Right.
And, like, making comics was his outlet. Like, it started with doodles. Then he finally would put storylines on it. And, like, his whole thing was, like, I wanted to escape reality, and this is how I did it.
Yeah.
It's like if you watch Ready Player One, like, man, have you still watched that movie? No. It's such a good movie. It's so cool. I like how, like, because, like, the whole thing, like, they're in an alternate virtual reality, but you kind of believe, like, you forget.
I'll watch it this weekend. I will say this though,
you forget.
Your recommendation on Triple Frontier was bullshit.
Ah, what? You didn't like it? What did you not like?
It wasn't good enough.
Oh man.
They were in the
critic.
I'm absolutely critic. They were in the middle. Like, it wasn't sharp enough to be truly dark and serious, but it wasn't funny. And so, like, it was kind of this middle, like, but it wasn't, no offense, but Ben Affleck sucks.
Or you kind of, I don't know if I don't think it's old enough for us to put any spoilers in. Yeah. Well, what happens, but.
Right.
What do you think about that outcome? Like, you know what part I'm talking about.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Were you relieved? Were you like, or like, were you like,
By that time, I was just ready for it to be over.
It was a long movie.
It wasn't great. And it wasn't, I don't know that Charlie Hunnam's that great of an actor either.
No.
So Charlie Hunnam's from Sons of Anarchy. He did a really, really good job in Sons of Anarchy. That show is great. It's such a good show.
Have you watched the new one?
The Mayans?
I
haven't tried it.
I hear it's really good.
I bet because the premise, the realism, we all have feelings about biker gangs. We all kind of like gangs and like.
The newest one was a biker gang. Like, they're like, one, no, but two, like, if you get, like, I heard a story. This guy was wearing a Sons of Anarchy like vest, like just for funsies, and like
that's wouldn't
it was a bad idea.
Learn from the show. The show explains why not to wear what's it called, a strap. Don't wear a strap. It's not
the color and the colors too.
Like, you don't. Why would you fake that? That means you don't watch the show. You're not a fan.
Yeah.
Like, if you're a fan, you watch Sons of Anarchy, and then you put something like that on, you're an idiot.
You could get killed.
Absolutely.
That's nuts.
Like, the whole show's about that. Like,
yeah.
But anyways, he was great in that show. So good. But I think it's one of those things where, like, just because you're good in that show doesn't, like, you kind of like, he worked hard. Like, is it okay to say it's like the whole cast of Game of Thrones, the whole cast of Friends. Friends. Everybody that's watching loves Friends, right? Everybody loves Friends. None of them did anything after.
Jennifer Aniston.
She's not that great.
No.
You're not in love with her. She's beautiful. She's amazing. She's a nice lady. Whatever. But like, name a movie. Bad Bosses or whatever that was called.
Horrible Bosses. Why would you go with that?
Because that's the only one where she does anything interesting.
When she's done, I was like, whoa, Anderson's doing this for a role? What?
And it wasn't a good movie, or neither movie was great. They're funny, but like the point is, like, she at least tried something there.
Yeah.
But none of that, and maybe it's also because they didn't have to. I mean, those dudes are still making millions off syndication, like every time it's on TBS. Yeah. So like maybe they didn't have to, but like Game of Thrones, who's done anything?
Yeah. Oh well, Mother of Dragons was in Star Wars. Solo. She's so beautiful too.
Solo.
Did you not watch Solo?
Solo did not do well.
Oh, I enjoyed that movie.
I heard it was good. I need to watch it. It's on Netflix. I need to watch it.
But it didn't. They pulled it because Disney's coming out with their thing already.
But it didn't do good. It didn't do well, and it not doing well. They took away the Boba Fett movie.
Oh.
They're not going to do any more.
I'm pretty sure that would have been crazy too.
They're not going to do any more. Well, the rumor is, yes, solos. They're not going to do any more single character because it doesn't, like Marvel. It works.
Yeah.
But Star Wars.
Ish. Okay,
well,
Captain Marvel wasn't that great.
That's true. You wonder if like, can they replicate Iron Man? And I don't think they can. Yeah. Even Black Panther, which was newer.
Black Panther was the shit. That was a great movie.
But like, what if the movie had been about White Panther?
Well, there's no White Panther.
But what if it had been? My point is like, but I didn't go because of the character. I don't know anything about comic books. I went because it's this thing where African American actors are finally getting their roles, and it became this. Everything was amazing. Yeah. But like, what if it had been another generic like white superhero? Do you think that now that it's better together kind of thing, like the Avengers movies have taken the focus away from like, I don't want to watch a Hulk movie.
Yeah,
I'd
watch Hulk. They did a good job.
Guardians of the Galaxy has a chance, but that's still an ensemble. There's still more than one character.
What's his name's back? Gunn? James Gunn?
Yeah, why did you fire him in the first place?
Dumb reasons.
Yeah. That's
irrational reasons.
It wasn't irrational. He had bad tweets, and they were really weird.
Well, they were weird.
Pedophilia and like all that stuff. But like, if you're gonna bring him back, which we kind of knew from the beginning, then why go through the motions? But you know what? Society accepts it. Society was outraged. Disney fires him. They let it die down. It's like Bill Burr says, like, because everybody's like, "Didn't you offend some people?" And he's like, "Shut up. Give it 3 days. They'll forget." And they do. Yeah. That man's figured it out. I love
Bill Burr.
I've been watching a lot of Bill Burr on YouTube.
He is the best, isn't he?
I think Bill Burr for president.
He's my favorite.
Because he's just so And my favorite is like, and he goes to it a little too much, but he's like, you get offended by what I say. Meanwhile, the Pacific Ocean has every toothbrush that you've ever thrown away floating around in it, and you don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, your priorities are in line.
Yeah.
Like, he's got it figured out, man. Outrage culture is not his jam. But do you think the standalone superhero movie, and do you think this is why DC can't figure it out? Because they weren't able to develop their standalone characters. They felt pressured to go into the ensemble cast because Marvel had gotten a jump start. But now you don't know anything about that. And also, I don't know why they keep changing. I get that you can't use Christian Bale. So you can't use
Christopher Nolan.
You can't use
Nolan, sorry.
That's Christopher Nolan, right?
I've always heard Chris Nolan. He could be a Christopher.
I've always heard Christopher Nolan.
He crushed it with Christian Bale. He did so good.
I think that made it tough. And also Ben Affleck's a cartoon. He's a cartoon. It literally looks like a walking animation. When he put the robot suit on to fight Superman, you wanted me to be proud, happy about that. But so they couldn't develop, since they didn't use their standalone movies, they had to go straight to, because Marvel had already moved to Avengers.
Yeah.
So I think DC had to go straight to this ensemble cast, but you're like, I'm sorry, Robot Boy with a CGI half face? Why do I care about him?
Cyborg.
There's nothing, and they're like, oh, we're going to give him a standalone movie later. Well, it's too late. I already don't care. Because you introduced him, you didn't give me enough to buy in on. And so now he's this cartoonish character that I don't care about his story, and I'm not going to revisit in 5 years. So I wonder if the standalone movie's done.
They better not mess up Flashpoint. That's all I got to say. That is an amazing story.
Is that a character or?
So, no, Flashpoint is a Flash storyline.
Like the character of the Flash?
Yeah.
Okay.
Flashpoint, he goes
and that's a DC character.
Yeah.
And that's that funny guy.
I know who the Flash is. Well, in the Justice League, he's the funnier.
He's pretty cool. I like him.
Guy. But
and in real life, he does a lot of good social awareness stuff. So he seems like a pretty great guy.
Yeah, Flashpoint.
He was the highlight of Justice League.
I bet.
He was really the only
He's a
thing
comedic relief.
that made it okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a giant man crush on Superman. On what's his name?
I don't know his name. I always forget. Every time I hear him, oh, that guy.
When he was in Mission Impossible Fallout and he had that mustache, man, that boy looks good. But they had to see
it like stop.
Yeah, it was the whole,
all the way down.
You know, it was like it stopped all the way down here. But it was a man's mustache.
They
It
caterpillar.
was a man's mustache, but he was still like clean cut. Clean cut with a bushy. Like he worked for the CIA, I think. Like anyways, he's in Army Hammer and him are in a movie together.
Oh, the spy one, right?
The spy one, which I always think I always recommend that movie. I think it's great.
It's not the Who.
Brother?
It's a band. No.
Agents
the
from
men from
Brother? Men from
Son Brother.
Men from I'll look it up. But anyways, I got a big man crush on him. And but the Flash guy, he had this rubbery lip the whole time because they had to CGI it off. But they had to like apparently CGI it off in like a week. They only had like a week to work on it. And it was because they had to reshoot because they changed directors. So he was already shooting Mission Impossible, and in his contract he wasn't allowed to shave.
Damn.
So when he came back for reshoots, he couldn't shave. It was a disaster.
I didn't watch it.
Well, and then they had to recover. Apparently, Batman vs Superman ended really poorly. Superman, because he killed somebody, and Superman's not supposed to like want to kill. Like he's supposed to reluctantly kill, or like only in
He's
defense.
supposed to kill Doomsday.
But he killed.
That was another thing that they messed up. Like that's what I'm talking about with Flashpoint. They cannot mess up Flashpoint.
Well, they can because it's DC. They mess up everything.
Well, yeah, they can, but they shouldn't. They shouldn't.
Let's get off comic books. But
yeah, we could get off of that.
Anyways, I will watch.
From
what am I
Christopher
watching?
Robin, by the way. You're going to watch.
Not Aquaman. What'd you just say?
It's on Solo.
Oh,
It's on Netflix.
If I can find it. If they haven't pulled it yet.
Apple's coming out.
Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
That boy. He's my man crush. Man crush Friday. Last week it was Robert. Still got a man crush on him. I spoke to him for two and a half hours last night. And then this week my man crush is Henry Cavill. So I will watch whatever we just said.
Find out what the movie's called because it's really killing me right now. The Man from Who? The Man from Who would run away?
Okay, keep talking.
Okay, yeah, you're looking for that. So we got here because we were talking about Christopher Robin.
Okay, so what? Sorry, yes. So what did you take? What was your Did nostalgia overwhelm you?
I think a little bit, but barely. It wasn't that much nostalgia. Like it wasn't like, oh, this takes me back to this and that. It was more like the message it had, like getting too consumed with work, letting it take over, and then you just forgetting about having fun or like doing other things outside of work. Like I really like the message that it had there. Just so not the whole remember your childhood thing, but just to not be too consumed with your work, because then that could take away from the real joys of life, which are family, friends, and
The Man from Uncle.
Damn it! I knew it was.
His name was Napoleon Solo.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah. The Man from Uncle.
It's an awesome movie. It's an awesome movie.
It was good. I haven't sat down.
I enjoy. It was artistically well done. It's about Cold War, U.S. Russia German relations, or U.S. England German, U.S. England Soviet relations. Sorry, and the fall of the Berlin Wall and getting agents in and out, and who's in it? Is it Hugh Grant that's in it?
No,
who's the bad guy? The good guy. Who's the English kind of the head of operations?
Another pretty boy. I can't think of where he's also came out on.
Army Hammer's the other agent. He hasn't had a lot of good movies lately. He was great in The Social Network as the
there you go. He's one of the twins.
The Winklevoss twins. He was the twins.
The twins.
There's a movie on Netflix right now called Mine, and it's about him as a Marine sniper, and he steps on a mine and he stays.
Oh, I've seen the clips of that.
He has to defend himself for 3 days.
And while he's stuck on that mine.
Yeah, it did not get good reviews, so I did not watch it.
I'll watch it for you.
So, yeah, man, when I watched, so I told you, Madison and I watched Christopher Robin 2 weeks ago, or last week maybe. And for me, that lesson was certainly big time.
Because you talked about that.
Like, I don't have kids.
Make time for play.
I don't have kids. I don't have a wife. I'm in a relationship, but, you know, it's not something like that. Because, yes, the wife's interactions with him was heartbreaking, but really the daughter, that's where it got you. Like, the daughter not feeling connected to dad, the daughter thinking that homework is it. Like, I've got to do my work. And there was some, like, lines in there where he was really, like, blunt about, like, adults don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Adults work.
Yeah.
And it's like, God, is that really what we need? Like, and you know that's where we're at, you know?
The part where he reads her the book, and she had a book, like, and then he starts reading whatever the hell it was, and I was like, oh, man, that sucks.
Yeah. It was
totally blinded.
And then, like, and I know it sounds silly, but I really appreciated his interactions with the Pooh character.
At first?
Where Pooh's just being whimsical and just fun.
Yeah.
And he wants the balloon, and then on the train, he's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Saying what I see, or whatever he says.
Yeah.
And he's like, can you do it quieter? And he's like, oh.
Yeah.
Cow. Cat. He's like, Pooh.
In your head.
Like, play sleep or something like that. Like, but it was just, it reminded me of me being too serious all too often, where, you know, if you're having fun, I'm like, quit fucking doing that.
Yeah.
But you're not doing anything wrong. You're not obstructing my ability to do whatever I want to do. It's just like, I don't want to watch you have fun. Stop moving.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I've been that character for the last, like, I've said it since.
We could all be that character.
I think we all have it in us, but for me, it really feels, it hits close to home because I feel like since I got sober, that was my priority. I've said this before. When I got sober, I think I put a burden on my back of, like, you had your fun.
Yeah.
And you went too far with it. Don't do that again. And then it was like, you better work. Like, this is about be serious, take shit seriously. There's no value in silliness. And so that movie, I don't know, man.
That movie made me cry.
Yeah, that was
and I let it.
That was, Maddie said she was crying, what, 3 minutes in?
I don't know about that early, but, like.
Madison was crying 2 minutes in. I was I laid down with her because she was watching it mid-morning, which was a poor choice. Way to start your day. It was last Monday. That's when it was. No, 2 Mondays ago. Midday was a bad time to do that. But I laid down on the couch. Took me about 10 minutes. I was like, I laid down right when Pooh found him in London. Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, dear.
What a day. What a day indeed. Yeah.
Just...
Yeah.
So I would definitely put that on the watch list. I'd recommend y'all check that out.
And let you cry. You know, it's okay to cry. Like,
well,
it's important to be in tune with your emotions.
You know, it's funny. Vulnerability is this thing that we don't necessarily celebrate in society, and especially as men.
Yeah.
I'm watching now. I'm 2 episodes into The Marvelous Miss Maisel, which Joe Rogan's talked about. Mm-hmm. It's on Amazon Prime. He talked about it because he said it was the most accurate depiction of stand-up comedy. Okay. Because basically, the story, I'm only 2 episodes in, but she becomes a comic. She doesn't want to, but, like, her husband at the time, it's about her divorcing, and in the 1950s when you don't do that. And now it's amazing. So, like, the reason I bring it up is not talk about the comedy aspect of it, not talk about Joe Rogan again for the millionth time, but, like, to talk about. Just
for record here, every other podcast will mention Joe Rogan. Okay. I'm just going to throw it out there. It happens more often than you think.
Okay.
Like, it's not just us mentioning. Like, there are other popular podcasts that will bring it because he's the number one.
He's the man.
No one's even close.
And he's the man. And I know y'all get sick of it, but if you don't consume his content, then you don't know. But, like, if you consume his content, there's something for everybody.
For everybody.
He interviewed a woman this week about the plague, like about
the Katie chick.
Yeah, I think that's her name. Like, about, like, just ancient stuff and, like, crazy stuff. And then he'll interview somebody about smoking weed and having fun. And then he'll interview someone about Twitter abuse. Like,
Lennox Lewis.
Like, nobody else could have gotten Jack Dorsey and the other woman from Twitter to sit down with Tim Pool.
Yeah.
Nobody else could have facilitated that. And you can say maybe they didn't get into it, but they got into it more than anybody else could have facilitated.
Yeah.
Nobody else is going to have someone that's a socialist and the next week have Ben Shapiro on. Like, nobody else is going to create these conversations. And so I think he's incredibly valuable. And I attribute a lot of my growth to things I've heard or been challenged by him to do in the way I feel. And specifically, like, outrage culture.
Dr. Phil?
The Dr. Phil one, I always thought Dr. Phil was like a Dr. Oz, where it was like this charlatan, this fraud.
Yeah.
No, Dr. Phil's a real dude, like a real dude doing real work.
He's gonna start a podcast too.
And I think it's good, you know? And so
he said, I'm gonna wait till I'm ready. And Joe Rogan thought that was absurd for him to say. So you've had a show forever. When you're ready, you're ready.
And then recently, when was, because I've only seen clips, but when did he do the sugar debate?
That's probably with the he had another debate thing with the guy. This is last week. One was for what was the debate? One was talking about going paleo, and the other was, damn it, what was it? Oh, it was like the cause of diabetes and like obesity. Like it was one of those.
I've only seen the clips. I haven't had the actual show.
I haven't seen it either.
But the clips have been really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of opinions about the guy that thought sugar didn't cause the problems because he sounded very much to me like I've said this a bunch, 2012 articles. No, the young guy was the one that was like, sugar doesn't do this. Okay. Actually, consumption of sugar is gone.
Wearing the blazer, right?
The consumption of sugar has gone down in the last 30 years while the rise of cancer and diabetes has gone up. So what do you think about that? And it's like, okay, bro, I think you're dancing around the truth here.
You know what's crazy? It's like these people are like so smart, so researched, but they all have the opposite opinions. And it's like us as people who are like, don't do that.
I'm not sure they have opposite opinions. I think that's where they are wrong. I think they're wrong in that they want to sell their brand.
Yeah.
Like when I listened to him, he had points, but he was a lot like the guy was like, don't eat paleo. Instead, eat lean meat and vegetables. And you're like, that's paleo.
Yeah.
But they don't want to call it. They want to be the guy that's against paleo.
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, I want to be the paleo guy. And so I'm not going to be like, okay, you're right. Eat meat and vegetables. I want to say, well, no, eat paleo. The labels are how I sell. I can't make money unless I'm standing behind an issue. If I tell you the truth, which is, hey, moderation is good, and a little of this and a little of this is great, and you need more of this.
Yeah.
You don't need to pay me. There's no reason to pay me for that. So I need to take a stand on the side. Mm-hmm. And then when you come to like the more, like even like political discussion, where it's like left and right, when you have the men and women that are, it sounds like they're actually trying to do good, whether they're on either side, often they're talking about the same thing. But they have to align with something, and so they have to disparage or criticize the other side. And it's like, actually, we're all kind of talking about the same thing. Like, very rarely do you hear someone on the right go like, yeah, I'm good with people dying because they don't have health insurance. Nobody ever says that. Nobody ever says that, okay? And we're very... And on the left, you often have people go like, yeah, I agree that people probably should have to work for some of these benefits, okay? But they're not going to agree with the right side. But in the end, you have the same conclusion. You know, yes, we probably should find a way for people to not die because they don't have health insurance. But and insulin probably shouldn't cost an arm and a leg, literally. And so, like, it comes back around. But how the hell did we get here? Were we talking about Chris Rogan?
We were talking about Joe Rogan.
No, we were talking about vulnerability. And I mentioned Joe Rogan, and then
I don't know. Back to vulnerability.
So vulnerability. I'm watching this show, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
That's why.
And
you said you brought that up.
The beauty of it, if I would encourage, just watch the first episode. Watch the first episode. I think they're 30, maybe 40-minute episodes. It could be an hour. I think they're 40 minutes. Last night in episode 2, I was so stressed out. So it's basically, I don't want to give anything away, but women. I want you to watch it because I want you to see how ridiculous the expectation placed on you by your parents is. I want you to see the ridiculousness of the expectation placed on yourself is. Men, I want you to watch it to understand where women are coming from, and then also to understand what we're coming from, whether how we judge women or judge others in general, and then also that we likely place similar expectations on ourselves, okay? When do we consider ourselves a failure? For example, without giving anything away, the main character has measured her proportions every single day, even through her pregnancy, for like the last 5 years.
Damn.
She walks into her parents' apartment, and her mom pinches her arm and goes, the cans aren't working anymore. You need to go ahead and buy some contraption. She loves her, too. She's not being rude. She's like, and the daughter's like, okay, yeah.
She's looking out for her, basically. Based on what?
The dad says, put your face on, put your best dress on, and go get him back.
Golly.
And he's a piece. The dad's awesome. But the guy that's supposed to be gotten back is a piece of shit.
Hey.
Any father should say, stay away from him.
Yeah.
But you can't be a single woman. That was more important than her well-being.
Shit.
And we can say that was the 50s kids. That's now.
And if it's not your parents saying that to you, it's you saying it to you. How many of you are in bad relationships? How many of you are in a bad relationship with yourself? That's the shit right there.
How many of you can't stay single?
Live there. Live in that silence. Learn about yourself. Grow.
I'm enjoying it.
Be a better person for your future husband, wife, partner, whatever.
Yeah, like when you're by yourself, you learn things about yourself.
I had a long conversation with Robert about that. A long conversation about can you grow in relationships? Yes, you can, but it's really challenging.
Mm-hmm.
You also, I mean, it's very challenging to grow on your own too. You know. Anyways, Marvelous Miss Basil, I think it's fascinating. She's hilarious. I don't know who the actress is, but she's amazing. The dad, her dad, he was in Wings. If y'all throwback to a sitcom called Wings, used to be on USA Network. And then he was in on USA as well. He was the OCD detective, Monk.
Monk. Okay,
he's the dad, and he's a Jewish asshole, but he's like an awesome out. Like he's awesome.
Good.
He's awesome. And then I didn't realize this till episode 2. Okay, the 2.5 Men, Charlie Sheen. Don't celebrate him. In 2.5 Men, Charlie's brother Alan, who's kind of the deadbeat, his divorced wife is the mom in this show, and she's amazing. It's a great show. I think it's won an Emmy, like it's won awards. It's 3 seasons in now. I just started it. Side note:
how many episodes per season?
10.
Oh wow!
I think an ex-girlfriend, maybe Nicole. I think an ex-girlfriend has watched it because I just found the show, and all of the show's episodes have been watched.
Oh, okay.
Who has my Prime? Who has my Prime account on their Roku or their laptop? Because I haven't watched 3 seasons. Someone's watched 3 seasons of this show.
Not me.
Okay, 8:24. Let's wrap this up. We have a comment. Oh. Christopher Robin, that movie got me good. I didn't see it coming. I hadn't seen the Black Wolf update. Yeah, Janai, it's a. If you haven't seen, and we said this on the update show too, you know, I might have cut it out of that. Also on Netflix right now, Saving Mr. Banks. If you have any daddy issues, if you have any abandonment issues, if you have any childhood issues, watch Saving Mr. Banks. It's actually a true story, so you can watch it from the true side, which is the story of Walt Disney getting the rights to Mary Poppins and how difficult that was for her. Emma Thompson, the English actress, plays an amazing character in that. Paul Giamatti is in it. By the way, Billions is back. Billions is back, people. Showtime Billions, great show. But Paul Giamatti is a limo driver. He has the best line in the movie. He has a disabled daughter, and his interaction with Emma Thompson at the movie, that'll make you cry. But if you have any daddy issues, Colin Farrell plays Emma Thompson's alcoholic father in Australia. Oh my gosh. Tom Hanks as Walt Disney. That movie will mess you up, and it's fascinating. Anyways, let's get done. So, anything to announce for Saturday next week?
First Saturday next week, but this Saturday.
Athletes competing?
This Saturday, barbells. What did I tell you it's called?
What's Game of Thrones?
A Game of Barbells.
Game of Barbells.
At Urban Animal. Summer and Erica are on team. Well, they're a team. They're a co-ed team. I'm sorry, they're a team. I'm sorry.
He's doing great, folks.
They're a team, and Kirby and Dominique are a team. They'll be competing at the Urban Animal event.
That's awesome. Okay.
And it's 7-1. They do not know their heats yet, but the competition starts at 7, ends at 1.
So odds that it's a terribly run event. I'd say high. Okay. Anyways, anything else?
I mean, Game of Barbells. They better do good. There better be a dragon there, made out of plates or something.
Throwing of barbells.
Throwing of barbells. And dumbbells.
Okay, I think that's all we have other than first Saturday next week.
Yes, that's it.
Getting here for the freestyle program, $85 until next week, then it's going to go up to $100.
You already talked about the
get signed up.
So, yeah.
I think we're done.
We're done.
Check out the YouTube channel. Let us know what you think. We need help with this. Comment, like, all that stuff. Is that Elegant? Elegant. Snatches today. They've been killing it. Y'all going to kill it too.
It'll be a fun one too.
All right, y'all. We're done.
Bye, y'all. Oh, look out for traffic. Today's critical mass. Bye-bye.
Don't hit the cyclist.
And I'm going to that. Right? Yeah.
I don't know.
Bye-bye, y'all. She might forgot something because she has to go to work early.
She might be saying hi to her friends.
Could be. You know, everyone's so nice. Let's see what happens. And now.
Oh, I'm going to give you one